guys, welcome to the living room, and I'm so excited today to have Tarralyne Ramsey with me. Woo!
Yay!
It just gives me.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet.
I had to do this. I love that pink chair and the outfit. You look amazing today.
No, honey, that's you. But thank you so much. You look amazing. You sound like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty.
You see, we're pretty girls, right? Like,
thank you.
So yes, Tarralyne, I'm so excited to have you on board, and I loved your voice. It gives me goosebumps every time I listen to that song that you sing, that passion, that emotions. Wow, I'm getting away ahead of myself right now, but yes, maybe you just want to start off by sharing a little bit about yourself to the audience.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Tarralyn Ramsey. I'm a singer. People call me a gospel singer. I'm gospel pop inspirational. I've been doing music for probably about 20 years or longer. And I just try to inspire people with my music. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah, I understand that you actually started off at a very young age, like at about 13.
Oh, absolutely. I did. Well, I was singing before 13, but I got my first record deal per se at 13. I absolutely did.
So give us one fun fact about Tarralyne, like, something about yourself.
Y'all want a fun fact? Take a look around. I love pink. Pink everything, honey. If it's pink, I love it. So pink is my favorite color, and I love everything that's sparkly and shiny. And I just love pink. That's my thing.
Yes, I love pink as well, but I think the face kind of like goes on and off sometimes. But I just like the fact that you have so many kind of different aspects to you. I mean, you have this inspirational, motivational side of you. You have this fun person like you. Maybe you just want to share about your journey, your musical journey.
Absolutely. Well, I would have to say that nobody's road is the same, and my road has definitely been a very interesting road as far as music is concerned. Like I said, I got signed at 13, so I've kind of had some twists and some turns and some bumps, but I've kind of tried to keep doing music. I was signed to Verity. I won the VH1 Born the Diva show. It was an intercontinental unprecedented search. So they went from London to Miami. I won that show, and I won a record deal with the Universal Casablanca Records. We put out, I guess you could call it like a pop type of record, pop inspirational, I don't know what you want to call it. And then I got out of my record deal with that. And then I did The Voice. I was the first girl ever on The Voice. So I'm still trying to find my little way here. I definitely think I've had some twists and some turns, but I think we're kind of trying to find our way. But music is all I've ever done. And I'm just kind of trying to make some new music that hopefully people will be able to gravitate to and be inspired by, and hopefully fall in love with the music first. So if they fall in love with the music first, they'll like me too. So, it's always good when music can touch somebody's heart. Whether I feel like as an artist, we're able to speak with our pen, if you're a songwriter, to say things that sometimes people can't really articulate. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. And kind of what I do, I should say.
That's really good. And I really like that, because you know why? Music itself, it really touches the core of us, right? The soul, our kind of souls. It brings out emotions in us. And sometimes the words can just be words, but it really depends on who's singing it, who's kind of bringing it across. Yeah. And that's what I see in your music. I just really like that, it just touches people. It just kind of brings the emotions out, like, you are like, you feel the chills, you feel like, oh my God, I just want to be on my knees, especially when you sing some of these gospel songs. I just had your single out in April. Do you want to talk more a little bit about that, like your new single that just came out? Yeah.
Yes. So, believe it or not, everybody knows all around the world, the entire world has been affected by quote unquote the pandemic is what we call it here, but the coronavirus, I mean, India suffering with it right now, currently, as we're speaking. It's just been a situation that kind of stopped the entire world. And believe it or not, some years ago, I was on my way home from traveling and I got this, I guess I would call it like this divine inspiration as I sat on the plane, and I started to write this record that basically said like, Jesus, I know you are listening. The world, we need you right now. So I started penning this song. And never in a million years did I think, oh, well, 3, 4 years, 5 years later, I'm going to dig this song up and it would work for a time right now. But I wrote this song back then, but clearly it was for a time right now. And we released it on April 2nd. And it's my single, and it's called Jesus, We Need You. Basically, it's just an anthem, a declaration that all over the world, God is no respecter of persons. He doesn't care if you're Black, white, Asian. He doesn't care about your ethnicity. He doesn't care about any of that. We all need Jesus. We need his help. We need, to call on him. And he's the only person that can really help, a lot of the things that's going on. So that's where the song came from.
To have this song at this time, and the lyrics of the song, and it's like what you say, it's really like a declaration, because this is like really, times are like, you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't even know what's to expect the next day.
That's
things
right.
can just change in a minute, and this is so important to have something to hold on to. I think, to give it hope. Yeah, we have hope to hold on to. What's your creative process like as a songwriter?
Oh, wow. I wish I could really honestly tell you that I had a regular creative process, but the reality of it is that I don't. It's funny. I could literally be sitting in the living room and I'll just start humming like a melody, or I could be driving in the car and I could just see the wind blow a certain way, and maybe it blows trash across the street, and I'll just start making up a song. I don't have a regular creative process, but I would say, but there's not many days that I don't create something or find inspiration in just the simple things, whether it's a candle, whether it's a slogan or something that somebody says, I can find inspiration in it. So I just write all the time, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not in the studio every day, but I would probably say I tend to write a lot of songs a lot.
Process is always the most interesting thing, and I like that you get inspired so easily, in a way that simple things inspire you, and I think that's because of who you are as a person. And one of the things that we love to do in my channel is basically, right, we always try to we want to inspire women out there, and I think just to we also talk about like women leaders. I personally believe that every one of us is a leader, whether we are a homemaker, whether we are, with whatever vocation you are a student, but you're also a leader. You're called to lead where you're placed in. And I think that's what you are doing right now with your music. And what were the challenges that you faced when you first started out in your career? Like, I mean, you would have all your desires, right? And it will take a journey for you to fulfill that dream.
That's really good. It's funny. I think when you start out doing music or endeavoring to do anything and you're really young, it's very important to have a really great support system that's able to express like your views or carry out the things that you want carried out. So for example, a lot of times when you're young and you're getting a record deal and you're writing songs, people don't really know that you're this creative. So you have to have somebody to say, oh no, she writes songs. We need to go through that. I think for me right now, where I am in my career or even in my life, just some of the challenges are trying to figure out how to make, I would have to say, dot all your I's and cross all your T's, if that makes any sense. Being able to get my music out to the masses of people. It's like you have a vision in your head of where you see yourself, and trying to make sure that you're on that right path, or you're making the right connections to kind of propel you to a certain level, to propel your music, put it in front of the right audience, or the right people get inspired by it. by it. And sometimes I think when you've been doing this as long as I've done this, I've watched music change. I've watched the internet change. I remember when the internet did not play this much of a role in music, and in the matter of a decade, you know, it has literally, it's the glue to the music industry, the internet is. So I just think trying to figure out how to navigate certain things. But as far as challenges, yeah, I think I've had a lot of challenges creatively, allow my voice to be heard, trying to put into words, sing my songs. Now I'm at a place in my career where I'm singing my songs, and I'm singing about what's in my heart. That's it.
I like that. I like that you're saying that, you're actually singing your songs, like what's in your heart. Say, for yourself, when you are going through this whole journey of like creative writing, music and all that, take about, I mean, it doesn't come easy, because you will have your own fair of people coming up to, like, give their own comments, I would say, like critics. And that would be very harsh for when you're starting out and you're very young, and you're also trying to figure out, like, how am I going to position myself? Because it's very different when you just want to do music, but when you start to actually do it for the masses, you have like to consider how you're going to position yourself, how are people going to respond to me, how they're going to like me. So these are some of the things some of the inner challenges that you might have faced. So how was that for you? Were you very affected by any of this, or was there an incident that happened?
Absolutely. I mean, I think when you start thinking about how you were received, or people always try to change you. People want you to be this when you're telling them that you're that. When you're young, you're kind of just swayed. You're kind of just put into the machine and you do what you're told. That's basically what I did in my career. They tell you to sing a song, you do the song. As far as opinions, oh yes, everybody has an opinion about who you are, what you should be, how you should wear your hair, what your makeup should look like. I mean, it's crazy. But I think you have to get to a place where you just be like, you know what, I'm gonna try this way, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. At least I did it my way. So I've definitely had circumstances and situations that have happened. Far too many incidences to be able to really like narrow it down to one, but I've experienced that for sure.
You've not given up, because I think at the end of the day, right, it's really about not putting people in a box. And when you actually kind of like give a kind of title to a singer, like say that, oh, you're an R&B star, you're a gospel singer, people have expectations based on that label itself. They expect you to behave in a certain way and look a certain way. But I love that you're actually going against the odds, because you want to be comfortable as who you are as a person. And that's what's special about you.
Yeah, people want, I mean, absolutely. I love the question, because people absolutely want to lock you in a box, right? They want to lock you in a box, especially if you're a gospel singer, quote unquote, and you sing about, Jesus. But then you're also a woman, right? So in that, you could sing, I'm trying to think of something. Okay, like, because this is an interview, so you have to be able to own the rights before you start singing something. But let's just say you start singing something like one of the songs that I've written is called Better. And this song is for every woman that's been in a relationship that's been hurt, felt broken, felt betrayed. And the song says, I was bitter 'cause you hurt me. I wanted to stay. It's not worth it. I was better, so much better the day that I left you. I mean, you see, it's like, so people feel like, okay, if you sing better, you're not a gospel artist. No, I'm the same girl, but I've just experienced life sometimes. And so sometimes I want to tell people, girl, you better get out that relationship. You're going to be so much better when you leave that man, versus staying there, being hurt, being betrayed, being broken, being abused, stuff like that.
And that's the thing, that because we want to be real. I mean, there's no way of sugarcoating it, right? Like, if just say, even if you're a believer singing all these gospel songs, you still have life. You still face
That's
real
exactly right.
issues, like, you have self-esteem. I've heard of stories of women having like relationships, abuse and all that. So it does happen, and it's very real. But I like that, because I think we want to be as real as possible with people, because a lot of times, right, when I think the one of the thing the beauty of being an artist, right, is because you have that influence. People look up to you, and when you kind of advocate and talk about real issues like this, like, hey, this relationship is bad for you, move out. People will want to take that into, they will feel like, oh, I will listen to that, because there's amount of influence that you have. And it's really
Absolutely.
great that you're using that to not like say that, what, I'm not going to touch that issues because I'm this. But you just want to be real and talk about a lot of things with the music. And I'm excited that you get to do this. And would that be a path that you want to follow in your music career, like write a lot more songs on this?
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. I think for me, it's very important to empower people, inspire people, give people hope, make people think, and whatever, make them believe again. Because sometimes life can make you lose the belief that things can get better, or that anything is going to work out positive. Like, you could really just feel down. But I feel like I want to tell people not only just Jesus, I want to tell them, like, I got a song called Champion. And it's basically about my journey, which is I've won, which is true. And I've lost, which is true. I know what it is to have to pay the cost. Very true. I'm stronger now, but I've been weak. So don't look at me and think I'm just so strong and that's why I'm standing here. No. So I think for me, I just want to sing life songs that empower and inspire people and give people the chance to basically see themselves in my lyrics. Say that I've experienced that in the songs that I'm singing and writing about.
What were your influences growing up? Like, who were your musical influences? You've got a favorite artist?
Oh, absolutely. I think, girl, you know the answer. Girl, you know the answer. No, literally, my favorite artist all day long is Whitney Houston. Like, I feel like there will never be another voice. I don't care what y'all say. That was the voice for me. I think it's the grace, the style, the way that she sang the songs, the way she held the notes, the way that she commanded the stage. Whitney Houston is my all-time favorite. Clearly, I've been influenced as well by other artists. I love old soul music. So I love your Betty Wrights, and I love a lot of your old artists. And I love Mariah Carey, and I love Yolanda Adams. I've been listening to them since I was a little girl in the Shirley Seasons, which is the gospel side of things. But yeah, I think my musical taste is eclectic for sure. And I listen to some of everything, and I get inspired by all of it for sure.
What's a favorite song that you will hum right now, like today? What would that song be?
Are you serious? Girl, I've been singing all this interview. Now I want to get blank, huh? Let me see. Oh wow. My favorite song, huh? It's always gonna be a Whitney Houston song, because that's kind of what I sing. But I don't know if we can sing it on here, and you can post it, because you may get flagged for not owning the rights to it, right?
You can also just name the song.
So my favorite song is "I Want to Run to You" by Whitney Houston. I sing it all the time.
That's a classic. Oh,
it's a classic.
Yes. I can see that when you sing, right, that's kind of like, you can see that's where the influence comes from. And yeah, I mean, but I like the fact that you, although that you kind of used her as like an influence, but you also modeled yourself in a particular way. I think, yeah, you've kind of like come across as like, your own style. You have your own style, your own way of doing it, and that's great. And your songs as well, the different types of songs that you write, that's amazing. And I just wanted to ask, right, in terms of like for yourself, if just say, I had that question for you. I wanted to find out, like, if you could go back in time and you have an opportunity to have like someone that you can invite out for dinner, whether the person is still alive or dead, who would you want to invite as a guest?
Oh, wow. That's a really great question. Okay. Can I have more than one? Or I only
You
have one person?
can, okay, I'll give you two. You can have two.
Oh my girl, I need five, okay? Okay, so clearly I met Whitney Houston. She was quite kind and sweet, but I'd love to really sit down and have a whole entire conversation about a whole lot of things with her. And I would have to say, this is gonna sound really crazy. In Christian music, there was a lady who went so far in music during the time where artists, they weren't doing the things that she was doing. Her name was Mahalia Jackson, and she sang for the president, and she sang for Dr. King, and she sang for all of these people. And I would love to sit down and try to figure out, like, how did she navigate what she did during this time? So I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Mahalia Jackson.
Wow, that's good. I mean, I've like not heard of her, but
right, you should go look
I have to
her
go
up.
and check that out. So now that you like, what are your plans for the future? Like, what do you hope to achieve with your music?
Well, I would have to say I'd love to achieve a lot of things. and I say, listen, I have to laugh about it because I just remember being a young girl with all of these dreams from like a small town. And as I sit here in my living room, on the living room, I realize that so many of my dreams, they've come true, right? Maybe not to the magnitude that I've wanted them to come true, but they actually have come true. And then you start to really think, okay, well, we clearly know that God has some kind of plan for your life, right? And so every day you're walking out the steps, right? So I would just have to say, look, I can't be getting tears. Okay, no, girl, don't cry. Oh, I'm doing it, girl, the tears is coming. I never thought, when I was, young, I never thought, oh, I want to, my music to be international, or I wanted to go here. It's like now I really realize, like, the United States, it's a small part of the entire world. Like, there is an entire universe of people that you want the opportunity to hear your music. So now I realize, wait a minute, okay, I want the world to hear my music. I want people in countries that I don't even know of to be singing my songs, and trying to figure out, can we just go Google Tarralyn and we just want to listen to her songs? Not my name per se, but they get inspired by the things that I do and the music that I sing and the lyrics that I write. I love fashion. I'm definitely a fashion girl. And so I dibble and dabble in like having a boutique. So I'd love to have a successful store and my music. That's pretty much it. And every girl wants to sell millions of records. I mean, every girl wants Grammys and all of that. That's not as much as, how can I say, that's not as important as it used to be. Let's just say that. So now I just think there's an old song that we used to sing in church that says, if I can help somebody as I travel along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. So that's what I hope.
And I think that's the reason why, that's really the heart of why I do what I do. I think because there are so many stories out there, like Tarralyns, that's your story. There's so many countless stories of women out there who have their dreams. It comes to pass. And it's such an inspiration to kind of encourage other women out there to never stop dreaming. I mean, your dreams might have been crushed, or it could have not have come to pass, but that doesn't kind of stop you from dreaming. And we have a big God, right? And we are asked to dream big dreams, right? And the magnitude of how it comes to pass. I mean, there was one of the verses that I always hold on to, that He exceedingly abundantly gives us all that we desire and more. So that's exceeding, our desire could be this small, and it could be this huge when God actually brings it to pass. And for yourself, like I can see that. And I mean, it could have been like for yourself, for you to have that dream that, to think about, like, I'm going to do this and all that. It could have been a dream that you could have like thought about as a teenager in your room, and now look at where you are, and God has brought you so far. And I think it's just the starting point, and there's going to be so much more that is going to do in your life. I mean, I love the fact that you've not stopped dreaming, and I love the fact that you're still moving on. And yeah, I don't know, it's getting so emotional, but you know.
Yeah, girl, you get me crying over here. Oh, I was like, I'm trying to keep my makeup nice. Okay. Oh, wow. So sweet.
But yeah, but I think it's, you know, whatever tough week it is, right? It's just going strong, because the industry, the entertainment industry, it's not like I think it's not an easy industry to be with. I mean, we hear about countless depression cases, countless suicides, you know,
Wow.
and even like, you know, image that counts, like, you know, it's like, it's just a different world out there as compared to last time, where people don't see it in your face, but now people just go anonymously and they kind of like comment on it, like, oh, and that takes a lot of tenacity to be strong and hold on to your vision and hold on to what you want to do, and say that, you know what, I don't really care.
Everything that you were saying is so true. Like the entertainment business is a hard business. It definitely can break your spirit. I love what you said, the tenacity to try to keep going. Like, I definitely have had moments where I'm just like, okay, I'm done. And then you have to like be like, wait a minute, no, I'm not. Okay, let me just try this again tomorrow. I gotta sleep today because I'm depressed, but let me get up tomorrow. You know, like you just every day you just gotta get up and you gotta try. I think I was sitting in my room and I was gonna make this quote. And the quote was basically, what does it take to build a dream? And I realized that it's step by step, it's brick by brick, it's moment by moment. A dream isn't built in overnight. Some people's dreams, they have been built over a span of 20, 30, 40. Look at Tyler Perry. Oh my God, like that story is crazy. You know, so I think this conversation tonight is very encouraging.
And I think that, you know, we want women like you to keep going and be real. I think the thing that I don't really like is some women are just not real. I mean, they have everything that they want, but they're not in touch with their emotions and all that. But we want to have real people, real stories, and share like, hey, you know what? I don't even only have my success. I also have my challenges, and that inspires and encourages other women to not give up. I mean, the whole reason why I called it the living room is because I want people to actually be able to tune in from the comfort of their own homes. Women who have, like, you know, who've gone through difficult times, traumatic experiences, who feel like, you know, they're not good enough anymore. There's nothing that they can do. But, you know, there's always something that they can do.
Absolutely. You are right.
Yeah. And age or whatever it is, like, it doesn't have to do with anything. I mean, you can still be in your 50s and start something. I mean, we live in a world like, you know, you can just go online and do your own business or write, or there's so many opportunities out there. I think women like us, we should just encourage and help each other out.
That's absolutely right. That's true. I mean, we definitely live in the time where if you can dream it, you can figure out how to make it happen. So many things that used to be closed off aren't closed off anymore. Like, who would have ever thought that everybody in the entertainment industry would almost be on the same playing field with Spotify and what is it, Google and Facebook and Instagram? And I mean, like, everybody's kind of like, okay. And then especially when there was the pandemic, you know, people were doing all these virtual concerts. Who would have thought that?
Yeah. And that's like, it's an equal playing ground right now. So there's no more like, you know, you have to pay this amount of money to get this. And the media is really like, you know, it's so easy to just go out there. And as long as you have a talent, and of course, like for us believers, we really have favor as well. So God opens the right doors for us at the right time.
Yes, girl, you're preaching. I just started smiling so much. She said God opens the right doors at the right time. Is that what he does? Okay.
Yeah, I always believe that. I believe in moments like that, you know, chance opportunities that God actually opens the door at the right time. And all those things, even like in the pandemic situation like this, right, you might feel like, oh, wow, I mean, and look at that way. That's an opportunity itself. You know, you wrote a song and you kind of released a single at a time like this where people need hope.
Yes, that was the reason we released it, is because we felt like that message needed to get out to people, that there was hope. We needed to declare, okay, for everybody who thinks that Jesus ain't listening, that's why the song says, Jesus, I know you're listening. The world, we need you right now. Like, everybody need them. It don't matter where you at, we all need them. So that's the truth.
And is there a favorite quote that you live by?
Oh, wow. You know, I would just have to tell you that all my life, I've had certain standards. And I had a grandmother that told me, Tarralyn, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And literally, there are days I hear her in my head say, you still gonna stand or you gonna fall? What you gonna do? If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And I know that seems so cliche or just a classic saying, but that's what she used to say to me all the time.
And as we are coming to the end of the section, right, is there any takeaways that you would like to leave with the viewers out there?
I would just like to say thank you guys for tuning in, and I had an amazing interview. This was awesome. Make sure you follow me on social media. Tarralyyn Ramsey on Instagram, Tarralyyn Ramsey on Facebook. What am I? Tarralyyn Ramsey on YouTube. All Tarralyyn Ramsey.
I'll list down all the social media links of Tarralyyn Ramsey at the at the page. It will be out on all the social media platforms. So please do follow her, support her in her work. And I am actually excited to see what else is coming up for you right now, because I know that you have two dreams. I see the music, I see the fashion and all that, but I think there's one more thing that's going to come up. I'm not sure what it is, but that's going to be huge. So yeah, let's see.
Wow, that's great. And I think in closing, my leaving, I would just like to tell people, sometimes the hardest thing to do is to keep trying and to keep pushing, but find whatever ounce of strength, faith that you got to keep striving and to keep pushing. Because I was watching something today when I was doing my hair, and I was watching this motivational video, and they were really just talking about a champion never quits. Like, what separates somebody that's a champion or somebody that achieves greatness or achieves success is the person that decides that it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, if they've been hurt, if they're broken, they're going to get up and they're going to keep trying. So I do believe that there is a champion inside of all of us if we decide to not quit. So that's it.
That's great. I love that quote. So on that note, we've come to the end of the section. I'm so pleased and I'm really honored to meet you, Tarralyyn. Thanks so much for taking the time to actually come on this show all the way. Like it feels like we're having you here in Singapore, but yes.
Right. I know. One day I'm gonna have to come and sing, okay?
Yes, one day we'll probably, once the COVID situations and all that, we'll probably have a tour of her in Asia.
That would be awesome.
Wow.
So
cool. Yeah. So we'll look forward to that.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And this is Little Living Room, and I'm Siobhan. Bye, Tarralyyn.
Bye.